Hi, my name is Sean, and I'm a deacon here at Living Stones, and I wanted to talk to you today about clapping. If you're new here, you may have noticed or even been weirded out by the fact that we're always clapping or raising our hands or singing or dancing or doing things like that during worship. We don't have anybody dancing. I myself have been at Living Stones for more than a decade, and I'm still trying to get my head around clapping. So I wanted to address the entire congregation, and maybe you're in the same situation as me, and maybe there's something that we can learn together about this. That is weird wording. So we see clapping in culture in response to a bunch of different things. Sometimes we'll slow clap the athlete, the underdog who just won the big game, or sometimes we'll applaud people for a very good performance. We'll say, wow, that was great, good job. The best example of clapping, I believe, is actually in Psalm 47. Clap your hands, all peoples. Shout to God with loud songs of joy. We are all peoples, and we are being addressed in this psalm. It's not saying this is a command, an exclusive command, where you have to clap, and if you don't clap, you're going to hell. But what it is saying is this is a natural response to how amazing God is. I cannot think of any better reason to clap than that. So we have situations here at Living Stones when we clap, and I just want to clarify those things. So when we're clapping at the end of a song, we are not actually clapping to say, good job, musicians, for playing that song well. We're clapping because we're saying the content of that song was amazing. And so we're clapping to God or for God or because of God. We're not necessarily clapping for the people. So when the preacher makes a good or emotional point and we clap in response to the point he made, we say amen, or maybe we say preach it. We are not applauding the preacher for preaching well. We're applauding the God that he's preaching about. Hello. When we clap during music, we are not trying to help the musicians keep the beat. We are not trying to get down or boogie or whatever you kids are saying these days. During worship songs, we're doing a lot of stuff with our hands. Hopefully we're putting ourselves under a posture of God, feeling the immensity of the grace that God has bestowed on us. Or we're proclaiming his glory to the world. Or occasionally we can do something like confessing our sin or crying out to God. We can do a bunch of different things. One of the most beautiful expressions of worship I've ever seen is a whole congregation, a sanctuary full of people, but each person is almost in their own little world, expressing worship to God, clapping. And it's like there's nobody else in the room. They're just clapping for God in that moment. But on the beat, when everybody claps together, they are all in unison, in their own little world, but also in community, clapping for God all at the same time. If you're clapping during a song, clap with the snare drum. Every time the snare drum is hit, that's when you clap. If there's no snare drum present, which happens every now and then, clap with the guitar strum. It's pretty simple. If the song gets quiet and all the instruments cut out, it's still okay to clap through that part. And I want you to know that you're not going to mess up the musicians. You're not going to mess up the preacher. You're not even going to mess up whoever's doing announcements by clapping. And finally, don't clap out of obligation. Clapping ought to be something that we are doing because we're truly expressing what our heart feels about God. So don't clap because you think you have to, or don't clap because you think people want you to or expect you. Truly connect with what God has done in your life, and clapping should be easy, I promise you. Go in peace, but while clapping.